Well, hello. It's time to learn some Python with Jordan and Jackie. Today, we are covering comparisons. And once again, we're using Replit as our IDE. Jackie, what are comparisons and why might I want to use one?
So we're going to use comparison to compare variables, two variables.
Clever name.
Yeah. So we always compare only two variables at a time.
And is this typically numbers or anything?
Anything. But in that specific case, we're going to focus on numbers. That's what we've been playing with so far.
And I guess some of these comparisons only really make sense with numbers.
Yeah. So we're going to just see that in practice. V1 would be our first variable.
Yep.
We're going to have 5, and then we're going to have a
number.
Second variable where we have 10,
Okay.
something like that.
Cool.
Yeah. And then if we say that our variable for receiving the result of this comparison is comp, it's going to be equal to v1, and then
the actual comparison. Yeah, so this is a good one to just draw some attention to. In an earlier lesson, we talked about the ambiguity about what does equals mean. Is it an assignment or is it a comparison?
Yeah.
And different programming languages handle this different ways, but Python, like quite a lot of languages, handles it by using double equals sign when you mean a comparison.
Absolutely, yeah. So double equal, we want to compare. The symbol equal is the assignment.
Yeah.
So we have
single equal, just. Cool. So here we're asking the question: is variable 1 equal to variable 2?
And obviously we have 5 compared to 10, so
not
this is not equal. Yeah.
So it's also interesting to draw attention here. When we print out the value, we're not getting a number. We're getting a word that says false.
False. So that's the nature of boolean.
Mm-hmm.
We have two possible values.
Yep.
The
truth values
or the false.
Yeah.
Which sometimes we can handle with numbers. So 0 or 1.
Yep.
0 as false.
You can think of them as being equivalent. Yep. And we're of course going to come back to deal with booleans in more detail when we cover data types, and also when we cover boolean operators in the next lesson, I think. But yeah.
So what would be equal here is typically saying that it's different, right?
Yeah.
So not equal.
Not equal. Yeah, which in normal maths is on paper it's the equal sign with a line through it. You can't really do that on a keyboard, so it's exclamation mark equal instead.
And so if we run that, we get a true.
Yeah.
Because obviously 5 is not equal to 10.
Indeed. Got to just wrap your head around that sort of slight double negative kind of thing that's going on. But indeed, 5 is not equal to 10. Yeah. So that comes out as true. All right. And then what about sort of greater than, less than, those types of things?
So as you mentioned in the syntax, in the mathematical syntax, we can't really put a bar with under the sign. So we have this lower than or equal to tell us the comparison.
Yeah.
So this is true.
Yeah.
And
because 5 is indeed less than or equal to 10.
And then we have the reverse, which obviously is false. So 5 is not greater than 10.
Yeah. Oh, well, so what we've been doing here with the last examples is saying, is variable 1 less than or equal to variable 2? But what if we just want to know, is it less than?
Right. So in that case, you're going to be less than or more or greater than. And so in that case, we have two very distinct numbers. So it's going to be the same.
Is not greater than 2.
However, if I put 5 here, we're going to get false here. But if I put equal, we'll get a true.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So oftentimes the distinction between less than or less than equal often doesn't matter, but sometimes it does. So just make sure you use the right one. Yeah. That's really all there is to it with comparisons. Well, except you want to maybe show us an example with non-integers.
Non-integers, right? So
just to prove that it still works.
We have 5.5, and then we go back to our 10, or we could also say 10.3.
Yeah.
And then we run our two variables, and then same result.
All works the same way. So this again is stuff that should totally be familiar to you from basic maths. The key thing is just that all of these comparisons, the type of data that they return, the type of information that they return is this true-false, the boolean. And in the next lesson, we'll look at how we can manipulate those a bit more.
Yeah, something to keep in mind is that we are handling numbers, and this works for numbers only, so decimals or integers.
Yeah, indeed, because a concept like is greater than is not really well defined for strings.
Yeah.
Though equals is. And we'll maybe see that in another lesson at some point. Okay, that's all we've got for you right now. We'll see you in the next one.